There are 246 mosques in the state of California, with female Muslims helping to make Islam the fastest growing major religion in the world. Women of this faith have been shaping California in religious and other ways for decades. Here to share the impact Muslim women are having on the Golden State as part of our look at Women's History Month is Sukaina Hussein, the local Deputy Executive Director of CAIR. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here today.
There are several accomplished Californians you want to introduce us to this morning. Let's start with Los Angeles native and community organizer Sarah Jawed.
Absolutely. So Sarah is a great community organizer and also a leadership coach. She works with social justice leaders, and in her organizing, she's actually affiliated with LA Voice, which is a nonprofit of Pico, California, and Faith in Action. And her work has been focused on addressing affordable housing issues, economic opportunities, criminal justice reform. She also helps lead the Muslim Power Building Project. And the Muslim Power Building Project is actually a national collaborative. It works with Muslim organizers to teach them the skills, help them understand how to advance policies, and really address the needs of local communities. And so on top of all that, she's also an artist who's exhibited her work, and just a great leader in the LA region who's helped to make sure underserved voices are being brought up.
Alrighty, now let's talk about Maimuna Afzal Berta, school board president in the San Jose area and a special education teacher.
So Maimuna is the board president in the Franklin McKinley School District. She has really been focused on making sure that she works closely with students, parents, and educators. Her focus is to really reevaluate the systems and address inequities, particularly for students with disabilities. That's her background as a special education teacher. She wants to make sure English language learners are being prioritized, students of color, and underserved families in general. Her work is really focused on making sure that opportunities are presented to support families in the school district, especially with mental health, counseling, housing opportunities, and that there is a safe and, a great environment for students to learn from. So she's doing great work in making sure that women like her who are from Muslim communities are representing all communities in need.
Alrighty, and just because we're running short on time, I really want to ask, in part, the last 4 years have been a painful part of Muslim women's history in California, with the last presidential administration's Muslim ban being in place and the anti-Islamic sentiments that it may have fostered. What's the lesson for all of us out of that going forward, in your opinion?
Absolutely. So, the issues that has impacted Muslim women definitely include the Muslim ban. Families have been separated, but Muslim women are also impacted by issues of immigration at the border. There are Muslim women in detention facilities in California. They're also impacted by, the housing crisis and the rising cost of housing in some of our urban centers, with economic disparities, with job loss. They're impacted by police violence. They've lost loved ones to police violence. And so I think the best lesson to recognize is Muslim women are impacted by so many of the same issues that have impacted other women. And for us to move forward in a way that's very productive and constructive, we need to make sure that their stories are being centered, that they are in decision-making spaces like police commissions, boards, that they're being able to express their stories in hearings and in school board spaces, and they're part of the development for solutions, whether that's policy, programs, or direct services, that their stories and their needs should be highlighted, just like all communities who are underserved and impacted by some of these issues. So,
and Sukaina, just like how we're highlighting here and sharing their stories. So thank you so much for helping with that effort.
Thank you.
CAIR here locally and nationally is inviting you to participate in Women's History Month by sharing your story of Muslim women in history who've been instrumental in shaping who you are and what you do today. To participate, create a video about that woman, keep it to 90 seconds or less, and message them to CAIR on any of its social media platforms like CAIR SVCC on Instagram.